Francis Ngannou reveals when relationship with the UFC became strained. UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou's quarrels with the promotion started to ramp up even before he earned a UFC belt. During a recent video posted to his YouTube channel, Ngannou explained how the aftermath of his first fight with Miocic destabilized his relationship with the UFC.
Yeah, this situation with the UFC, it started kind of like long time ago, way long time before people even realized. I was silent and they were trying to like control the narrative and then manipulate people's perspective, people's opinion. And then I was just like a bad guy, a guy that didn't want to fight. Then you go out there, control everything and make me be the bad guy here, which
White and the UFC considered cutting ties with the Predator following his loss to Derrick Lewis a fight later at UFC 226. Luckily, they didn't follow through, and he's won 6 straight fights. Ngannou used White's comments as motivation and intends to use the prolonged negotiations as extra fire. As he gets ready for a potential super fight against John Jones, Ngannou is still reflecting on his shaky ground with the UFC. Joe Rogan believes Conor McGregor is doing enough steroids for his urine sample to melt that USADA cup. The UFC color commentator recently discussed McGregor's absence from the testing pool with fitness educator Derrick, who recently exposed internet sensation Liver King's PED use. Rogan also suggested that fighters coming off injuries could use PEDs without getting caught, as USADA lets them out of their testing pool.
Not only that, he's taking his shirt off and posing constantly, and he looks like his piss would melt that USADA cup. Like it would just like burn a hole right through the bottom of that USADA. The weird thing is that there's a loophole in USADA that allows you to get out of the testing pool. You can just juice up.
Yeah, most of the guys weren't even aware, apparently. Anthony Smith, who does the show with Bisbang, he was like, I didn't even know you could fucking do that.
Seems weird. And you just need 6 months. Like, if someone had an injury, though, that's a very wise way to approach it, right?
Owner of the More Plates, More Dates fitness brand, Derrick's knowledge of chemicals has been publicly acclaimed by Rogan. The fitness instructor also stated that he would have been incentivized to use certain banned substances if he were in McGregor's shoes. UFC champ Alex Pereira proposes $100,000 bet to Brendan Schaub for running his mouth about Chimaev. Following Pereira's stunning late finish of Israel Adesanya at UFC 281, Schaub reacted to the new champion's potential reign and said he believes Pereira doesn't beat a single guy in the top 5. Additionally, when a potential matchup with the undefeated Khamzat Chimaev came up, Schaub felt that Pereira would have a really rough night at the office, which got the attention of the new 185-pound title holder.
Okay, what have we done here?
So this is the deal. He'll fight Chimaev in Rio, regardless of being injured or not, at 205. And he proposed to do a bet with Schaub. He said, he went off his mouth, $50,000 if he beats Chimaev. We both go, and those $50K from both sides, we donate to kids that he needs. Also, 50 more that do not take him down in 30 seconds. And we double those 50 to donate for the charity.
Now knowing how Schaub feels about the matchup, Pereira and his coach have stakes for the proposed bet, with the money going to those who need it most. Of course, if Chimaev wants a piece of the action, Pereira would gladly welcome him on board. Following the challenge, both Chimaev and Schaub confirmed that they are both in for the bet, with Schaub stating he'll put up $100,000. Jake Paul takes shot at Dana White. The problem child is ready to poke some fun at the UFC and Dana White over fight-fixing allegations of their own. The promotion announced that any fighter working with James Krause would be unable to compete. Given the announcements, as well as Paul's own history of being accused of fight-fixing himself, he seems ready to take some shots at Dana White and the mixed martial arts promotion. Remember when Dana White and UFC fighters like Colby Covington tried to claim my aspirin knockout was rigged? Ironic, isn't it, that the Ontario Gaming Commission believes UFC insiders are rigging fights? The problem child tweeted. What do you make of these comments? Should Dana fire back? Kanye West called out by Jewish UFC fighter after Hitler praise. UFC lightweight Natan recently sent a warning to Kanye West after his unanimous decision win over Genaro Valdez at UFC Orlando. Levy went after West over the rapper's recent anti-Semitic comments. Ye has been banned from multiple social media platforms for posts deemed anti-Semitic. In a number of recent appearances, Ye has also praised Nazi leader Adolf Hitler and helped platform a prominent Holocaust disputant. The Israeli up-and-comer called out Ye, coldly offering to settle any issues that the rapper has with Jews.
I know you represent Israel and everything like that. There's obviously been a lot of talk in the mainstream news with what Kanye West has been saying and Kyrie Irving has been saying. So as an athlete from Israel, what do you make of everything that's happening in this country right now in the media?
Yeah, I think life is too short to hate. So to all these hateful people, sucks for you, I pity you. And other than that, Kanye West, if you got a problem with me or my people, come see me, bro. I am Jewish, it's what I am, it's what I was born. I'm very proud of it, and I will fight for it. I will fight for my people in the octagon or wherever need be. And I will not stand for anti-Semitism. I won't stand for any racism, not around me. Don't bully anybody around me, or I'm gonna find you.
Proud of his heritage, Levy promised to continue fighting for his people both inside and outside the octagon. Lethal, however, doesn't harbor any hatred as he believes life is too short for that. Levy's dominant decision victory over Valdez made it 2 in a row for the only Israeli fighter on the UFC roster. UFC Orlando Results. UFC Orlando took place last night from the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida, and MMA Gold News has you covered with the main card results. The main event saw former title challenger Stephen Wonderboy Thompson clash with Kevin Holland in a matchup between two of the welterweight division's best strikers, while in the co-main, UFC veterans Rafael dos Anjos and Bryan Barberena did battle in a welterweight bout. Rafael dos Anjos got the win with a submission of Bryan Barberena in their welterweight clash, and Stephen Thompson earned a TKO victory over Kevin Holland in a Fight of the Year contender. Even though both fighters went to war, it was nice to see how cool they were with each other outside the octagon. Take a look at this video of Wonderboy greeting Holland after the fight. Did you enjoy UFC Orlando? Let us know in the comments. Daniel Cormier believes Jorge Masvidal should reconsider call-out from Michael Chandler. It is true that Michael Chandler has called out Masvidal for a fight, but Gamebred seemingly has no interest in such a matchup. Masvidal has lost 3 in a row, twice to Kamaru Usman, and most recently to Colby Covington in March of this year at UFC 272. Chandler is coming off a loss to Dustin Poirier in November of this year at UFC 281. Cormier, speaking on his podcast 3 Rounds with Daniel Cormier, had this to say about a Masvidal versus Chandler fight.
And by responding, I think he needs to recognize that there's more value in the Chandler fight than he believes, because it might just get him closer to what he wants. And that's another shot at the welterweight championship. But the first thing you gotta do is find a way to get on that card. And if no one else is available, that guy in Tennessee would step up right away. He'd be ready to scrap with you. The dude's a dog, he's nasty, and he might not win all the time, but you're guaranteed to have a fight that will be on the tip of everybody's tongues when it's done.
Do you agree with UFC commentator Cormier that Masvidal should reconsider a bout with Chandler? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Brandon Moreno reacts to James Krause's ban. Brandon Moreno has reacted to the news that he can no longer have James Krause in his corner or as a coach. The two sides started to work with one another at UFC 277 when Moreno became the interim flyweight champ with a TKO win over Kai Kara-France. The two have since been working together on the 4th fight with Figueiredo at UFC 283 in Brazil in January. However, on Friday, the UFC released a statement saying that any fighter that trains at Glory Mixed Martial Arts or has Krause as their coach will not be permitted to fight at any UFC event. Following the news, Brandon Moreno took to Instagram to react to the ban. Waiting for justice, Moreno wrote, "It's currently uncertain who Moreno will work with now ahead of his title fight against Figueiredo in Brazil. Who do you think Brandon Moreno should work with now?" That's all for today's video. If you want to know the latest UFC news, subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications bell, and click the like button so you don't miss any details about the upcoming fights. Thanks for watching. See you soon.